Well, Baroness Shaista Gohir joins us live now from Birmingham here in the UK. She is the CEO of Muslim Women's Network UK. Thanks very much for being with us. So no doubt you've seen these figures and the consistent rise in attacks on Muslims over the last few years. What do you put this down to?
Well, it's deeply concerning, the data, but Muslims don't need data. We are experiencing this on a daily level. I think in terms of contributing factors, it's many. First of all, it's the rise of right-wing political commentators. I do think there's funding coming from abroad to cause division in our society. They know that if they say very divisive rhetoric, they will get the clicks and followers. Also, the media will then follow up with covering stories. They get more coverage. So you're in a cycle, in a loop. They know, well, that works, let's do it again. So it's the commentators, it's the right-wing, Reform, for example, Restore, the Restore Party, but also I blame the government as well, because the government has been in power for a couple of years and they just react really slowly. They could be more proactive in challenging this hatred. And it's not just even about Muslims, it's migrants, there's racism. I've not seen anything like it before. And the government, in a way, has allowed that to happen by not robustly challenging what they are seeing before their eyes, neighbours turning on each other. And we talk about security of the UK. We think about threats from Russia, threats from Iran, etc. But how about threats of billionaires who are funding people in the UK to increase divisive hatred and rhetoric, but also the algorithms that are promoting it as well? And we've had a couple of murders in 2013, 2017. Do we need more murders before the government will act?
Can I ask you if you have seen or experienced any of this anti-Muslim bigotry on a personal level, either in your working life or elsewhere that you've come across?
As a charity, Muslim Women's Network rarely used to get any hate mail. We'd get a silly little email every few years or something. Over the last 18 months, we've had several, and we log them now, and we reported some of them to the police because they were threatening. But also we've got a domestic abuse helpline, and we've started to get domestic abuse victims also reporting hate incidents. So we then set up a separate helpline called Muslim Safety Net, and we use the website to increase legal literacy of Muslims, so they know their rights, they know how to report. And we're hearing horrific stories of Muslim women, for example, if they're in the park with their children and they're being targeted by teenagers, by children. That's how normalized it's become. And then being followed home, having stones thrown at them. We've had women reporting being at a bus stop. One woman said she was at a bus stop and she got targeted by a drive-by. And she said, now I'm not going to wear my bright headscarves anymore because I feel that makes me really stand out. Why should women change the way they have to dress? And this is just one of a few stories. And what we forget is we focus on the hate crime on the street because it's obvious, it's overt, it's verbal abuse, it's physical abuse, but that then transfers into the workplace, that transfers into service provision. So we've actually on our helpline had more and more people reporting discrimination in the workplace. And we've got now, there's almost like targeting Muslims on looking at their social media profiles, finding out something that they might have said, then finding out where they work, and then making vexatious complaints. So they're weaponizing the complaint system to try and get Muslims to lose their jobs.
We'll have to leave it there. Good to get your perspective on this important story.